Hey guys, what's up? Victor here, Staten Island Edge. I'm glad you could join me. Gorgeous day out here today. Beautiful sun. We could all use a little sun right about now in this chaotic thing we call life, right? So let me show you my carry for the day. So here we got. This is a really cool piece. This is my modern for the day. This is the Hawk Talon. I'm not sure if the copper is coming across right now with this lighting. Hold on. But that is copper carbon fiber. And if I do say so myself, it's quite attractive. It's very beautiful. So this is the Hawk Talon, a very hot knife right now. Someone who is into the modern higher end American-made knives, someone who's into that scene knows this knife. It's not always available, a little difficult to get. If you're lucky enough and you snag one, you fall in love, and then you say to yourself, wow, the hype is real. So just to begin, I want to show you something that there's several unique characteristics on this knife. One being something simple as an adjustable spring-loaded pocket clip, which, you know, sometimes depending on the pants you're wearing, this could come in handy. Super solid titanium, and it works quite well. Then, like I said, this beautiful copper infused carbon fiber scale. And then one of the best things about the knife is this, at first looks like an unassuming flipper, right? Under closer inspection, you know that it is, by its position alone, you know it's different, the way it sits up high like that. But, okay, so here we go. Here's the blade. So let's call that a modified sheep's foot. Super, super hollow grind, super thin. Yeah, that's definitely a slicing machine right there. And with that little curve there, you got a perfect spot for your thumb. Hold on. You got a perfect spot for your thumb right there. It comes in at about 3.5 ounces, which is pretty nice for this size knife. The blade's a little bigger. It's a little less than 3.5 inches. One second. So I wish I could let you guys experience what this action is like. So they call it the Hawk Lock. It has I guess a patented designed detent system. They call it a toggle detent, which makes for a seriously satisfying, smooth, and I flub it as I'm saying smooth. It's a beautifully smooth and satisfying operation. It's quite unlike any other action on a knife that I've ever experienced. It's addicting, to say the least. It sounds great, and it just feels fantastic. You have the thumb studs and the flipper that you could use. And you could also, in this case, you can see this unlocks the blade once it is, once the blade is deployed, and just by doing that. Now, on most, let me see something. See, it doesn't act like, for instance, like a crossbar that when you press it, you could flip the blade out. You can't do that with this. It has one mission and one mission only, and that is to unlock the deployed blade so it goes back in. Once again, guys, if you haven't a chance to experience this knife, try it. It is so unique and so special. It's worth a try. There it is, guys. That is the Hawk Talon. For my traditional today, I have a Boker, and I kept it, again, copper. This is a copper and micarta, glossy polished micarta, which I think looks gorgeous. Single blade Stockman with a, check out this blade finish. First of all, the blade is beautiful, the shape, but check out that heavy duty acid washed blade finish. I know it's not for everyone. Some people do not like this finish. I happen to like it. It's unique to say the least, right? But that's such a handsome knife. So yeah, today we'll be featuring some Bokers. All right, we'll start it off with this single blade copper and micarta single blade Stockman. Let's check out. Oh, we'll leave it here for 1 second. I have something else that looks handsome sitting right next to it. This is its single blade Trapper counterpart. Same spec. The heavy stone wash, acid washed blade finish with the copper and polished burlap micarta. Now, this, if I'm not mistaken, is N690 steel, I believe. You know what it is? I haven't had these out in a while. I don't remember. But if you're interested, leave a comment and I'll get back to you on the blade steel. Pretty awesome, right? Handsome knife. It's got some action to it. Check it out. Same thing with the Stockman, single blade Stockman. Got really nice action, nice snap. Okay, what could we see next? Oh, staying with the theme. Here is, I'm not going to spend too much time with them, but it's the same knife, but in a different micarta. And instead of being copper, this is brass. And this one is just a satin, not a satin, it's more of a dull finish on the blade. It's not satin, but it's pretty cool. It's like a working finish, you know, so it doesn't get scratched up and leave rubs and marks and stuff. But it's cool, isn't it? Such a beautiful knife. Great size. Great action. See, this material, it's different. It's a different type of micarta. Where the one with the copper is more of a polished burlap. This is more of a fuzzy, standard type of micarta. Also nice, don't get me wrong. And why wouldn't I have the single blade Stockman? Same one as the brass one here. Also, listen to that snap. Wow. Fit and finish on these knives are impeccable. It's just beautiful. Check it out. And it feels really nice and solid. I'm not afraid to carry this knife or to use this knife. I mean, it's what they're made for. They're beautiful. They're not just showpieces. That's the point I'm trying to make. Some people would say all knives should be used. They're not showpieces. I get it. But I have a nice selection of knives. I use certain ones for work and others for other things. And check this out. So this is they call it the club knife, the Boker club knife. It's like the brass one we were showing you, the single blade trapper and the single blade stockman. It's one series. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a beauty? Did I mention these are not, remember we covered some of my favorite carries, right? The Boker USAs. Well, these are not, these are Soligen. These are Soligen Bokers. Beautiful action. This has a half stop where the others did not. And I have a nice one to go along with that. And look at this beauty. This is my favorite wood for knives, for knife covers. It's desert ironwood. And speaking of desert, look how beautiful it is. Wow. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but my buddy James at Warrior Works, he's working on a few knives for me, and when I think about it, I'm like a little boy. I get so excited. I really have to stop. I get so excited. But once you see them, you may get excited as well. I mean, they're gonna be awesome. We worked on an epic trade, and the knives I sent him to mod for me, they were beautiful. They were beautiful knives to begin with. But I want to make them just a little more special. And I think James is the right guy. I think he's the one to do the work for me, and it's gonna knock my socks off. I know he's gonna knock my socks off. Anyway, look at that sucker. Isn't that beautiful? This one had someone's name etched on it. But because I wanted this knife so bad and it was so hard to get, I figured I'd take it and I would try to remove it myself. You know what it is? This blade stock is so thin. It's such a fantastic slicer. It was so thin to begin with. I didn't want to rub too hard. So James, again at Warrior Works, tells me he may have a solution for that. But I could live with it. It's so beautiful. Such a nice knife. Great snap. What do we got here? Then I have some more traditional, patterns here, like the famous, and if you ask me, one of the most beloved patterns, traditional patterns, the copperhead. Check this out. Look at that. The beauty, isn't it? I've never seen scales like that. Some type of acrylic. And this is one of those knives that you would not believe what this knife looked like. I mean, it had good bones. The meat was there on the blades, but it just looks like it was just left in a drawer and not very well, not abused, but not very well cared for. So I took it to the wheel. I took out some abrasives and some cleaning tools, and it came out quite nice. Check out the blades. The etching on the blades is a thing with Boker. Some people like it, some people don't. See it? Tree brand. Boker Solingen, Germany. But boy, look at those bolsters. Aren't they pretty? They're singing. They are singing. Okay, so that's the, here's the other blade. Pretty unique. I haven't seen blades like this, the ones that you see on the Boker. I may have said copper lock. I meant to say copperhead, and I'm sure you guys who are such astute and expert knife guys figured that I messed that up. Yeah, this is a copperhead, not a copper lock. Here we go. Check this out. One thing that's unique, they do have, Boker Solingen does have unique blade shapes. Now, what I mean is, I'm not saying that Boker invented these shapes, but they have their own twist on it. Like, for instance, everyone has seen a spear blade in a canoe, right? But look at the way Boker does it, man. Look at this guy. He's awesome. I love a fat spear. Look at that thing. Hold on. That better? Wait. That better? Look at that. Isn't that pretty bone with that fat spear? It's awesome. Hold on. Yeah, so we spoke briefly about Boker, what a legendary knife company it is, and how much I love my Boker USAs. In some cases, my own collection, I have more love for my USAs, even though they're old knives. They're older knives that I cleaned up, fixed up. It's just that I use them. I come in contact more with them, so I grew more of an appreciation and a bond with them. To say they're better than the Solingen ones, no, I don't mean that, because come on, man, Boker Soligens, they're hard to beat. They're just gorgeous. To me, they're up there. They're up there with my GECs, my Shatton Morgans, and my Queens. They're beautiful. Let's move along. I have one or two left here. I'm not going to show them all. I noticed that my videos are getting longer and longer, and it's probably going to turn some people off, and I'm sorry about that. Check this guy out. Look at this little Barlow. This is kind of a modern Barlow in their lineup. Beautiful little Barlow. Perfect little size. Again, this has that heavily acid-etched, acid-washed blade. This got beautiful action. Very snappy. And a perfect little size. I mean, you could fit that in your fifth pocket. Some people would carry this as a primary. I don't have a problem with that. Why not? Depending on what you're wearing, for instance. So let's say it's summer and you have light pants on or a light pair of shorts. This makes a perfect little carry. Isn't that nice? And we'll make this one the last one for today. Like I said, I want to cut it a little shorter. I noticed the video is getting longer and longer. Maybe you guys don't like that. Check this guy out. I don't have many Congress patterns, and I had to jump on this one. Check this out. And I'm a big fan of, in general, big fan of sheepfoot blades. And when you have not one, not two, but in this case, you're gonna see blood soon. Hold on. And this knife will draw blood. So this particular one has 3 sheep's foot. I guess that's a coping blade. Most people will consider that a coping blade. It's a little sheep's foot. Call it what you like. And 2 nice sized sheep's foots. Sheep's foot, sheep's feet, sheep's foot. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 with a nice little pen blade. What a nice shape, right? With that arch over here and those beautiful bolsters. That gorgeous red bone jigging. Looks similar to several Shatton Morgans I have, that deep red color. Isn't that a beauty? Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of my Boker Solingen and the amazing Hawk Knives Talon. Remember, you saw it here first. That goes out to my traditional and slip joint buddies, not my my modern guys. They've seen this before. All right, man. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good evening, and God bless you all, and see you on the next one, all right? Bye-bye now.